Laura, if this is blinking, it's recording. She can hear. Let me try talking.
Laura, can you hear me? Hello, Laura? Hi, Laura. Can you hear me? Should I change my mode?
I don't think so. I think leave it. Let's look at people in here.
Okay, welcome everyone. We'll get started in just a few minutes. We'll wait for just a few more people to arrive. Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Joanna Mosser. I'm an associate professor of politics here at Drake, and I'm also the associate dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Tonight, what we'd like to do is just briefly introduce you to what a College of Arts and Sciences is all about. And as we go through the different slides, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to type those into the chat area. Assisting me behind the scenes tonight is Assistant Dean Jennifer Tran Johnson, so she will be answering your questions as we go. So jump in whenever the questions emerge. So I want us to start by, I know many of you are just starting to think about your college plans, but I want you to sort of fast forward to beyond Drake and think about why college, why consider a College of Arts and Sciences? So what we do in a College of Arts and Sciences is really prepare you for work in a number of different fields to respond to complex, multifaceted problems. And in order to do that, you really need to learn how to think critically and analytically, how to solve complex problems, how to write well, how to talk well, how to, apply your knowledge in settings beyond the classroom. So what we do in a College of Arts and Sciences is emphasize, no matter what major you're doing, no matter what minor you're doing, our job is to facilitate your ability to be a critical thinker, to solve complex problems, develop your communication skills, and to help you apply that knowledge, whether it's in internships, whether it's in service learning opportunities, or it's doing undergraduate research. So what I mentioned before is that in a College of Arts and Sciences, what we're trying to do is help you to identify and understand and act upon complex problems. So if you read the news on a daily basis, you'll see problems like climate change, global warming, poverty, issues about the distribution of economic goods, problems of war and conflict. These types of problems are persistent, they're ongoing, they're also tremendously complex, and arguably you can't really address them well without addressing them using the methods, the knowledge, the disposition of lots of different disciplines. So what we want to prepare you to do is to be able to confront those problems, identify what those problems are, break them down into their component parts, and then act authoritatively upon them. We also want to prepare you to function really creatively in the workplace. Now, when I think about the work of a College of Arts and Sciences, what we're trying to do is actually prepare you for jobs that don't yet exist, relative to problems that we haven't fully anticipated, problems that we don't yet fully understand. So we're trying to equip you with that ability to see new problems as they emerge and to function authoritatively relative to those problems, to solve them. We want you to be creative and innovative and advance in your workplace and to develop the skills necessary to be that person who does the job well, but is also able to function outside the box and think outside the box. And so if we know that we're going to face complex problems in the future, including poverty, global warming, the distribution of economic goods, conflict, war, we're going to have to anticipate brand new jobs, jobs that don't presently yet exist. But we want to prepare you to function authoritatively within those things. So that's our job in arts and sciences. And so no matter what major or minor you're thinking about, those are the things that we're going to ask you to do. We really want you to explore. We want you to discover and think really broadly. We want you to think in complex, nuanced ways. And we want to prepare you to be that person in the workplace who thinks creatively, who's imaginative, and who's able to anticipate that maybe the context in which we're working has changed, and we too need to develop our internal operations. So here's just a quick snapshot of the different majors available to you in the College of Arts and Sciences. So you'll see on the slide here just the list of majors available in the natural sciences. So astronomy, biochemistry, cell and molecular biology, called BCMB here at Drake, biology, chemistry, environmental science, kinesiology, neuroscience, which is a new major for us, kinesiology is as well, physics and psychology. And I want to just quickly mention a few of these things. Environmental science in particular is a really interesting major. Again, if our interest is in thinking about sustainability, the demands of responding to global climate change, we can't just be pure scientists. We have to develop policy prescriptions that are not only scientifically sound, but they're sensitive to social practices, economic practice, cultural practice. So if you major in environmental science, you'll be taking a core of courses in science, but you'll also be taking courses in sociology, courses in politics, some courses in cultural studies. So to train really broadly to be able to act authoritatively upon environmental problems. If you're interested in maybe becoming a physical therapist, or you might be interested in being a personal trainer or go into exercise science, kinesiology would be a fantastic major for you. That's a new major at Drake, and we're really excited about the direction it's taking. Neuroscience is also a new major at Drake, and we're tremendously excited about that. Sort of a basis in psychology, but you'll learn about how the brain works and think in very interdisciplinary, complex ways about the brain. If you have any questions about these majors in the natural sciences, please go ahead and type your notes into the chat function, and Jenny would be happy to respond. I'll move on to majors in math and the computer sciences. So we have a computer science major, a new major in data analytics and mathematics and math education. Some of you might be wondering what data analytics is all about. So if you major in data analytics, what you're going to be looking at is basically collections of data about publics, the community. Who are we? How do we behave? How is data about us collected in the course of our everyday activities, our searches on the web, our use of our phones, those kinds of things? That data about us, about our everyday practices, our consumption behaviors, are tracked and collected. How do we use that data to act authoritatively upon public problems? And how do we use that data that we collect about people in ways that are ethically sound? So it presents a really compelling opportunity for you to consider. And also in data analytics, it's another one of those interdisciplinary majors. So you'll be taking courses in computer science and in mathematics, but also in business and in politics, for example, as well. So you'll be thinking really broadly in that major. And then finally, we have a bunch of really compelling majors in the humanities and social sciences. So no matter what you do in the humanities and social sciences, what you're doing is puzzling over human behavior. Why do we think the way we think? Why do we do what we do? And your goal in each of these majors is really to try to unpack those types of things. What's the why of human behavior and what's the effect of human behavior? So we have a major in anthropology and sociology, a major in English, and a separate major in writing. And the undergraduate major in writing is pretty distinctive. It's pretty rare among undergraduate colleges to have a major in writing. And here it is a thriving, really popular major. And the English program itself is really tremendous. The range of interests that faculty bring to bear, the types of courses that they offer, the breadth and depth of those courses is really outstanding. We also have a history major. The faculty at Drake focus on American history, Latin American history, Russian history, all over the map. We also have a major in international relations. If you are interested in issues of global politics, global problems, global public policy making, international relations is a great major for you. What's distinctive about international relations at Drake is that it is an interdisciplinary major. So you'll be taking core courses in politics, but you'll also be taking courses in economics, cultural studies, you'll be taking a language, you'll be taking history courses all over the map, because the idea is you can't really understand patterns of conflict and cooperation among states unless you really understand sort of the fraught history, the cultural dynamics, the economic dynamics that inform why states do what they do. Law, politics, and society is another really popular major on campus. If you're thinking about law school, law, politics, and society might be a really spectacular option for you. Any one of these majors that I have up on the slide right now would be terrific preparation for law school. Law schools are above all interested in you taking the most difficult courses available to you, thinking critically, thinking analytically, developing your writing and presentation skills. And you'll get those skills in any of these majors in the humanities and social sciences. But law, politics, and society is an interesting major because it allows you to think about the law from a liberal arts perspective. So what that means is if you go to law school, you'll be in a classroom with a law professor, and that professor will assign you a bunch of cases to brief. And the professor might ask you, so what's the holding of the case? What did the judge decide? How did the judge get there? And then how would you apply that judge's decision to a contemporary case? In law, politics, and society, you ask much broader questions, like where did that law come from in the first place? Where does law come from anyway? How does law structure our relationships with one another? How does law structure our relationship to the state? So you engage in LPS a much broader series of analytical questions about the why of the law and how the law shapes our relationships with each other. So it's a terrific complement to your work if you wanted to go to law school in the future. We also have a major in philosophy and in politics. And politics is, we have concentrations in American politics, public policy making, political theory, and comparative politics and international relations as well. We also have a major in religion, rhetoric, media, and social change, and sociology. So rhetoric, media, and social change is a relatively new major for us. And what's distinctive about it is if you're interested in public discourse, how we talk to each other, how we try to persuade each other, what messages resonate with us and what don't, how do we think about particular things? That's the major in rhetoric, media, and social change would be a fantastic major for you. If someday you wanted to go into advocacy work, if you wanted to work for a nonprofit organization, if you wanted to work for a political campaign, pairing, say, a major in politics with rhetoric, media, and social change would be a fantastic choice because you're studying human behavior in politics and trying to puzzle over anticipating in a strategic way, human behavior. And then in rhetoric, media, and social change, you will actually develop the campaigns necessary to respond strategically to human behavior and think critically about the effects of those campaigns. So again, if you have any questions about any of the majors that I've asked, that we've talked about so far, please do not hesitate to type in your questions in the chat bar. So just a little bit on mechanics here. So to graduate from Drake, you need 124 credit hours to graduate. What that means on a semester to semester basis, that averages out to about 15 credit hours per semester. And you'll see that your experience at Drake, your academic experience, is sort of roughly divided into major studies, perhaps major and minor. I should note that with any of the majors that we've talked about thus far, it's really easy to double major. And in fact, it's encouraged that you try to double major. Most of my advisees do double major, or they have a major and they minor in something else. But the trick here is to try to work within that overall 124-hour credit requirement, but to create as diverse and rich and interdisciplinary an experience as possible. And all of our majors do allow for that opportunity for a double major or a major and a minor. We want you to study broadly, even as you focus within a particular major and develop your skill set within that major. And the Drake curriculum comprises the other third of your experience at Drake. So the Drake curriculum, I'll say a little bit more about that in a second. The Drake curriculum is basically our set of general education requirements. And again, the goal here is you might come to Drake and you know that you want to be an international relations major, or you know you want to be an English major, or you know you want to be a politics major. I would say wonderful, concentrate on those things, but you need to study broadly as well. To be a good political scientist, for example, to really understand international relations, you also have to take courses in history and in science and in writing to equip yourself with a really broad skill set. So here's a little bit more on the Drake curriculum. Again, every student at Drake must complete the Drake curriculum, and it's comprised of 3 parts. Every entering first-year student takes a first-year seminar, and I'll say a little bit more about that in a second. It's also composed of different areas of inquiry. I'll mention those in just a second. And then a senior capstone, which is meant to provide sort of a synthetic experience, an experience in your senior year, the fall or the spring of your senior year, in which you put together everything that you've done within your major. Some of the senior capstones involve original individual research projects. Sometimes they involve partnering with an external constituency, like a nonprofit group in the community. Lots of different options there, but that's organized within your major. So the first year seminar, again, it's something that's required of all first year students, and it serves a range of purposes. So when you come to Drake and you register for your first year seminar, you will see a lot of different compelling options available to you. There might be a first year seminar on the Beatles. There might be a first year seminar on book banning. There might be a first year seminar on any number of things. So they have potentially broad thematic focuses. But the goal of the first year seminar is primarily to first introduce you to college, get you into a community of active learners where you're talking, you're thinking hard, you're having discussion-based class sessions, writing-intensive discussion sessions. You're integrating yourself into the Drake community. You're introducing yourself to the kinds of academic skills that are required for success at Drake. But it's a fun experience. You live with each other in the residence halls. It's really meant to be a truly inclusive introduction to Drake. And all of the first year seminars work on writing and critical thinking and reading, and you'll be introduced to research skills. So that the topic, the thematic focus of the first year seminar matters less than the skills that you develop in the course of that FYS and the enduring relationships that you build with your classmates during that first year seminar. So the other part of the Drake curriculum involves what we call areas of inquiry. So the wisdom of the Drake curriculum is, again, that in order to do our jobs well, in order to succeed within our professions and within our chosen disciplines, we really do need to be able to position that profession or that discipline within a broader context. So every Drake student is asked to take courses in 10 different areas of inquiry. So those include an art class, the artistic experience class, a critical thinking class, an engaged citizen class, global and cultural understanding, 2 history classes, an information literacy class, which is essentially designed to equip you with research skills that will be beneficial to you throughout your experience at Drake. A quantitative literacy class, so a math class or a statistics class, or if you're so inclined, you could take symbolic logic in the philosophy department. Lots of different paths to addressing the quantitative literacy requirement. You have to take 2 science classes. One of them has to be with a lab. Oftentimes my students take courses, you could take courses in psychology, in chemistry, in physics, astronomy to satisfy that science requirement. Values and Ethics AOI, and a Written Communication AOI. And this might seem like a lot of classes, but it's important to note that, again, these different areas of experience are meant to train you to develop a truly interdisciplinary skill set to help you be that nuanced interdisciplinary thinker. And the AOI courses that you take oftentimes can be counted toward your major. So there can be some overlap there. If you have any questions about the Drake curriculum, again, please don't hesitate to type in some of your questions in the chat bar. So we provide you with a lot of important academic supports to get you through your experience at Drake and to help you make the most of your experience at Drake. So what's really important to us at Drake is that you as a student have the opportunity to build, and you do build, a really meaningful relationship with your faculty advisor. So our faculty here are your advisors. You meet with them every semester to talk about what you're doing that semester, what classes are going well, maybe things that you're struggling with in your classes, what you're really enjoying, and what's on the horizon next. So the advisor is meant to help you to chart your path here at Drake, to help support you in your effort to chart your path at Drake. So faculty teach at Drake because we pride ourselves on having these meaningful relationships with our students. So seek out your advisor. Ask us tough questions. We're here to help you. We also have in the fall of each academic year an academic fair, and representatives from every major and program on Drake's campus come to be available to answer your questions about what does it mean, say, to be a major in English? What does it mean to be a major in history? And you can learn directly from faculty or from the chair of the department exactly what it means to be a major in that particular discipline. We also have an alumni speed networking event that you could take advantage of as soon as you wanted to during your time in arts and sciences. What we do is we pair current students with alums from the area or beyond the Des Moines area. And it gives you really an opportunity to sit down and begin to think about, what is it that I've done at Drake during my time here? How do I translate the work that I've done in the classroom? How do I talk about that with someone? So it gives you practice in interviewing, and it introduces you to opportunities, professional opportunities that maybe you wouldn't have anticipated. We also have a number of other opportunities, career workshops, opportunities to take sort of personal inventories, tests. Maybe you're not quite sure at this point what you want to do. That's absolutely okay, and I would say that's a great place to be right now. That sort of curiosity and that disposition to being open to do lots of things is what will allow you to study and think really broadly. Yes. Yes, Kaylee, thank you for your question. I'm just echoing to Jenny that yes, you can do that. We have a number of specialists in Western and Central European history. We also have various career fairs, a J-term fair. The J-term is an interesting opportunity here at Drake. If you are a student who wants to really get involved on campus, maybe you have a part-time job on campus, maybe you're actively involved in a number of student clubs and you enjoy the coursework you're doing on campus, but you still want to travel abroad. It might be difficult for you to do that full semester study abroad experience. And so the J-term, the January term, might allow you to do a focused 3 to 4 week study abroad seminar that is designed and led by a Drake faculty member. We also have a lot of peer mentoring opportunities. If you have questions, if you need support with your work in math, your work in writing, or your work in the sciences, We have student tutors who are trained to work with you to answer your questions. So here's what I think really jumps out. We offer a number of really compelling things here at Drake, but here are a number of other things that will support you in your academic work. I've sort of mentioned these already, but we have a number of career resources. So what you should plan on doing, especially during your first year at Drake, is studying and thinking really broadly. For most students, your first semester will be spent taking one, maybe two courses within your major. Otherwise, we're going to invite you and nudge you to think and study broadly. So to take that history class, that science class, that math class, maybe even an art history class. We want you to be thinking broadly during that first year to set you up to then think about, what is it that I want to do? And at any point, you can seek out career resources. So we have free career assessments available to you, tests that you can take to try to figure out what are my particular talents, what are my gifts, what am I good at, what are my strengths, what do I know about myself, and translate those personal insights into career opportunities. And our Career Resources Office also offers practice in interviewing techniques, networking opportunities, and resume and cover letter review. And your faculty advisor, too, would be a fantastic source for these things as well. I spend quite a lot of time as an advisor preparing my students, talking about the internship opportunities that they're seeking, the professional opportunities they're seeking. We talk about preparing for an interview, the work they need to do to prepare for an interview. And I review resumes and cover letters all the time. I really enjoy it. So study abroad opportunities. I sort of briefly mentioned this on the previous slide. There are a number of different opportunities available to you. So for semester-long study abroad programs, Drake partners with some third-party providers to carefully vet a select number of semester-long study abroad opportunities. And those opportunities are available quite literally all over the globe. You have a number of interesting opportunities available to you. Now, if you're thinking that maybe, again, I'm a little bit wary about taking an entire semester to study abroad. Maybe I want to take a short time abroad, which will allow me during the semester to still work, to have my classes at Drake, to follow through on my social or club or professional commitments at Drake. We also have a January study abroad option available to you. That's the J term I mentioned in the previous slide. And also an increasing number of May term study abroad courses. So what's distinctive about the January and May study abroad opportunities is that they're designed and led by Drake faculty. So in recent years, I'm trying to think, Jenny, you help me here, but Egypt, Ghana, South Africa, England, where else?
The Bahamas.
The Bahamas.
Galapagos Islands.
That's right, and the Galapagos Islands. That's just a really quick snapshot. And for the May term, Egypt, Turkey those are two of the most recent ones. A lot of opportunities to study abroad. And I think the key thing here with the January and May travel options is that these are designed and led by Drake faculty. You'll be traveling with Drake students. And so it's a really interesting opportunity to really intensively study abroad and get the experience of studying abroad, but to do it in a way that's more consistent with maintaining lots of other interests and activities on Drake's campus. Some of you might also be interested in language study. And our approach to language at Drake is strong because it puts you into a classroom with a native speaker. You are speaking that language on the first day and repeatedly after that. It's not textbook-based language study. It is an immersion-based language program. And we have a range of opportunities in language available to you. I've just put down a few here. I have American Sign Languages, ASL, Arabic, Chinese, French, German, Japanese, and Spanish. We offer certificates in those programs. We also have a brand new Spanish minor available to you as well. And I would say, just thinking about my advisees, Arabic and Chinese have become some of the most popular languages to study. We have the honors program as well. So a couple of slides ago, I mentioned to you that about a third of your experience, your academic experience at Drake, is in the general education curriculum, the Drake curriculum. And that's where you take those courses in art, those history courses, 2 science courses, a math course. You have an alternative available to you. So if you decided maybe if you wanted to, you could participate in the honors program instead of the Drake curriculum. So the honors program is, you could think about it as an alternative general education track. So what's different between the honors program and the Drake curriculum? The gist of the difference is this. In the honors program, you'll be taking a course, say I teach a course called Crime and Punishment. It is a course on the politics of the content of the criminal law and the politics of the administration of the criminal law. So what does that mean? Well, when I teach that course as an honors course, I end up getting students from English, history, business, the pharmacy school, the education school, all of us together in a single space. And we study the same things, but we read those things in very, very different ways. And to our benefit, collectively. Because if we're each confronting the same problem and looking at the same thing, but reading it through different disciplinary lenses, we're inevitably going to see that problem in a more nuanced way. So if you think about the Drake curriculum, it has you take those 2 history classes, the 2 science classes, the math class, the art class. So you're thinking and studying really broadly. That kind of integration happens within a single class in the honors program. So in that single class, Crime and Punishment, that I teach, students are thinking historically, culturally, economically, politically in that class session. It's also a dynamic conversation. It's discussion-based, it's writing intensive, and it's interdisciplinary. So if you're deciding between Drake curriculum and honors program, and you do not need to decide that now, you don't even need to decide that during your first year at Drake. But in thinking about whether Drake curriculum or honors program, think about the kind of learning experience you'd like. If you like to talk in class, have seminar style, smaller group discussions, if you like to write a lot, if you like to think critically and analytically, and think across disciplinary boundaries, the honors program might be for you. And it also has sort of a community-based opportunities for engagement. So the honors students meet, they have meetings, they hold events, they even have an honors student council. So there are opportunities for social opportunities within honors as well. We also have a lot of student clubs and organizations, over 160 right now. So a lot of opportunities to get involved on campus, and what's really distinctive about Drake students is the degree to which they get involved in lots of different things. We also have a range of intramural sports and club sports available, opportunities for leadership development. We have a lead concentration even. So let's say you decide to be an English major with a minor in politics, let's just say, and you have an interest in being a social advocate or working for a nonprofit organization, and you want to learn how to develop the leadership skills necessary for success in those areas, you would add the lead concentration onto your major and minor. We also have opportunities for service learning. So service learning, like an internship or other forms of experiential learning, invite you to apply the work of the course to something outside the classroom. So service learning, experiential learning are opportunities for you to apply the work of the course beyond. Now, in the College of Arts and Sciences, we encourage you to do internships, and I can't think of one of my advisees who has not had an internship or multiple internships. But in the College of Arts and Sciences, we don't just send you out to do that internship. We actually work with you to build an academic experience around that internship. So I work with you to craft a question, something that you will think about during the time at your internship. We would meet routinely each week to talk about what you're seeing, hearing, experiencing, and we would design a series of books and articles that we would read and talk about together to structure what you see and do during your internship. Des Moines is also a tremendous place to be. I like to call it, well, it's a city. It's certainly a city, but it's a small town at the same time. I'm always amazed at the degree to which people I know each other. The networking opportunities are incredible here. It is a vibrant place to be if you are interested in going into politics, in social work, in advocacy, or in insurance, in the business field, or in publishing or healthcare. This couldn't be a better place for you. It is a fantastic city with tremendous opportunities, and it's worth noting that the Drake name has a lot of currency in the Des Moines area. and our alums are everywhere in Des Moines, actively seeking opportunities to work with current students and to build internships and shadowing and networking opportunities. So we do have a Twitter account and we do have a Facebook page, so we invite you to stay connected with us and to sign on. I don't know what the proper lingo is, to sign on, to join those different options available to you. But again, as I mentioned, tonight was just meant to be a quick snapshot, a really brief introduction to what a College of Arts and Sciences is all about. And you should have more questions. I hope you have questions. And so if you do, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And I have my contact information here. I'm the Associate Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. I'm also in the Politics Department, but you are welcome to contact me. There's my email address and my phone number. And then Jenny Tran-Johnson, who is with me tonight facilitating the chat function, there's her contact information. And the other Assistant Dean in the College of Arts and Sciences is Mary Beth Holtai, and she would welcome the chance to talk to you as well. Do you have any additional questions? Well, we will hang around for a few more minutes if you do have questions, but I encourage you to follow up on anything that I've mentioned tonight. Again, it was just a really quick snapshot. We're really proud of the things we do in a College of Arts and Sciences. And as your ideas and plans take shape, we would welcome the chance to talk with you about how they might take shape at Drake.